Hi YouTube, it's Suzanne here again. I'm sorry I've been away for a long time. I went to Iceland for my lovely holidays. It was very good. It's crazy that in the UK we had a wonderful weather. Good. In the UK we have had a wonderful weather, and I went to Iceland in a very cold weather, but it was very nice. It was wonderful. Then I had to do a presentation somewhere, so and I got sick in between, so it was really hectic week. But I will be doing my videos very often, and I will try to provide you as much information I can. So let's jump into the topic. Today's topic is UX design, and who are UX designer and what is UX design. UX design is user experience. So any website, web app, or if we interacting with the TV, here in the UK we have Sky, so there is the interface. So we change channels or look for movies. So that experience, the whole experience, is a UX experience. Or if you go in a hospital and interacting with these machines with the interface, and you put your detail in, your date of birth, your personal detail, name and everything. So all these experience you go to from the time you start interacting with the screen till you perform the tasks, you have some kind of experience, and that experience is called user experience. And user experience designer design that experience. For example, if I want to buy a book, I'll go on amazon.com. I will look for a book, let's say lean UX, and then I will put it in the basket. I will put my detail in and check out, and I bought the book. Okay, that experience, that interaction with the web is the user experience, and there must be a whole team who design that experience. There are people, a big group of people working on it, especially in a big companies. UX designers, they solve problem. For example, let's take a real life example. Fitness center came to me, and they come to me with the problem that we have on the web. We have that amount of user coming in, but we have only 6% of conversion rate. And what is conversion rate? Is they have X number of people coming to the website, so they have lots of traffic, but little amount of people, like 6% of them, they are buying the membership on the website. And what consequences they face for it is that lots of people are calling the call center to buy the membership, so they want to increase the conversion rate. Now UX designer, what they're going to do, they're going to solve this problem. And how they're going to solve this problem? They're going to go and study the users. This is the most important thing. And then they're going to study the current system. They might look at the analytical data, so it depends on the company, and according to that you take different approaches. So they might look at analytical data, big numbers, that how many people are coming into their website, how much bounce rate is, where they're clicking, where they're leaving the system, from which platform they're coming to the website, for example mobile or the desktop. So yeah, they can have a look at the analytical data and the reports for it. It really depends if you have access, but if you don't have access to it, sometimes you just do qualitative research, quantitative research, and there's another research method, hybrid research. Some people mix and match. So basically these are all ways to study, different ways to study the users, the end users. uh, I can go into qualitative and quantitative research methods as well, but I think it will take a long amount of time. So what user experience designer do? They run that kind of research, and I think I should talk about it. So I will talk about the quantitative research methods. So for quantitative research method, for example, you might interview the users, you go and talk with them, you try to understand, or ask them certain questions, and all these questions are in contextual inquiry. It can be very informal, but it's not, it is for a purpose. So there are, you prepare for it, and there are contextual inquiry you prepare. You can do card sorting workshop. You can run different kind of workshop, or you can do guerrilla testing as well. So there are different. I do guerrilla testing in my workplace, and we do A/B testing as well. But I won't get into it. let's move on. So once UX designer do the research, they have the findings, they analyzes the data, they build the prototype. So the prototype can be very rough with the pencils. There are different tools coming in the market to the prototype, but some of the things, I just give you a very rough example like this one. I can't see. So for example, I don't know what you're looking at, but something like this. They're not very beautiful, but you know, they fulfill the purpose. So they will build prototype, they will build interaction tree, for example. They will just do the rough prototype interaction tree that like if the user come into the app, they sign in, then where they're going to click next, and then which page will come after that. So all these pieces, bringing them together. So first they do like piece 1, piece 2, piece 3, and then they build a map how to connect them together. So they build a prototype, they build an interaction map, and then they will build a high fidelity prototype, which means that the visual design come into place. So UI designer, if you have a separate UI designer, he will do the design, or she will do the design. And what UI designer do is then they take your prototype and they look at it, and UI design also enhance obviously the user experience. So if there is a certain button which is very important, they're going to make sure that the user directly look at that. So yeah, after high fidelity prototype, you're going to test it with the real users. That's the normal way people work. So you build your hypothesis, and you get the validation from your user. So for example, you generate your idea that they might be facing this problem after your research, and then you will do the validation with the real users. So, and then you iterate, and you build the product, and it goes to the development. So once it goes into development department, you will be speaking with your engineers, front-end engineers and back-end engineers. You might be actually, uploading your design into stories, and then it goes to development. I will just skim through it now. So yeah, you just be there with the developers if they need your support for anything, if you're UI UX designer both. So in my company, we don't release the product like in a whole country. We release it in certain areas and see the reaction of the people. So we gather data through it, and we iterate on top of it according to the data. So we take the next section according to the data we receive, and that's normally the job of the UX designer and how they work. So I think I covered a lot in it, like what is UX design, what are UX designer, the design experiences, human-centric design, especially I didn't touch that part. So human-centric design is designing for the real users. We are human being, and if, for example, I'm a real user of Amazon and I like the website, or let's take another example. So Airbnb. So Airbnb designing the product for us, people who like to travel a lot, and they book the rooms, in different countries, especially places which are exotic and not so many people want to go there. So when Airbnb will design their product, they will keep people like us in the mind, like what is the age of the people coming to the website. So it's basically, like, without going in so much detail, the human-centered design is designing for end user and keeping the end user in your head. So before, in older days, we were having design which is related to business brief. That's it. So for example, any business, they want to release certain products, certain features, and that's what they're going to concentrate on. But now what we do is that user experience designer, who's going to do all the studies, user research, and analyzes the data and build the high fidelity prototype and everything. They keep when they're designing the experience, they keep the end user in their head, and the outcome should match with the business needs as well. So the job of the user experience designer is to build a product keeping the end user in their head, and that product meets the business requirement, aligned with the business requirement. All right, I guess I've given you enough information and I hope it's useful for you. I don't want to load you with lots of information, but I will do a video about the UX process and UI process and the process I take. If this video is helpful for you, please click the like button so I will know that it's making a difference for you. So I will keep producing the content. Thanks a lot for your time. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe and like the video if it makes a difference for you. Thank you. Bye.